So good morning, dear students and teachers from northern part or all the Lithuania, and the warmest and special greetings for the Naujojo Akmenė, Saulėtekis, and Ramučiai schools. Hi. My name is Aidanas Barzelis, and I'm the lecturer from Šiaulių University. There were some questions why the lecture is in English. So my answer is that we have some international students today in our classroom. Just smile and wave, boys and girls. And these students are from Korea, from Colombia, from Latvia, and of course from Lithuania. Okay, so today we have a short lecture about intercultural communication, myths and stereotypes, and while we have only 30 minutes, the content of the lecture will be really simple. First of all, we'll quickly go through theoretical part. I'll present some aspects of intercultural communication. Later, we will try to analyze some video material. It will be closely connected with how the foreigners see the Lithuania, what are the main stereotypes. And then we will go to more practical issues on a discussion on personal experience of our international students that are today here in our classroom, and of course, some conclusions. Okay, so first of all, starting the theoretical or the boring part of the lecture, we have to agree on what intercultural communication is. Some say that intercultural communication looks at how people from different cultural backgrounds try to communicate. It also tries to produce some guidelines which help people from different cultures to better communicate with each other. And quite often, we need to use these guidelines in a simple intercultural situations. So I'm using guidelines as the synonym of models. Here we see two pictures. First of the picture is the cultural iceberg picture, and the second is the process of communication, or the communication process. If we talk shortly about first of it, the cultural iceberg. So when you communicate with another person from a different culture, what you see, you hear words, you hear the tonality of the speech, you see the body language, and you see the gestures that this person uses. But what you do not see, usually, what you do not see are the beliefs, values, biases, prejudices, experience, fear, dreams, and etc. If we talk about the communication process model, so there is usually in the communication process there are two persons. Let's say two persons. The first one, for example, is me. Lecturer, I'm the sender of the message. The second one is receiver. And what happens between of them? Yeah, the first thing happens that we want to tell the message. Yeah, the message can be like a simple message, hello. Also, this message goes through some kind of channel. This channel can be mobile phone, it can be Skype, it can be direct communication, it can be like lectures or something else. And what we see here is the noise. Yeah, and the noise is the thing that influences the communication process. And intercultural communication analyzes this noise, and we can call it like cultural noise. And this noise comes not from the words or tonality or body language, but from the beliefs, values, biases, and prejudices. Yeah, let's erase everything what I have made, all the mess. If I would like to give you an example to understand more clear what I was talking about. Okay, so for example, A student from, let's say, far away kingdom who's really good in history and geography. This is the student who's really good at history and geography, tells to his friend, who's not that good at history and geography, that in Eastern Europe, this is the message, in Eastern Europe, there is a country called Lithuania. Okay, so the receiver or this friend who's not good at history and geography, heard somewhere that that Eastern Europe was a part of Soviet Union, which is equal to Russia, where people speak Russian language and they are really poor and they are communists. So this is the noise. This is the noise that this student has in itself. Yeah, it's his beliefs, his values, prejudices, and experience, and something like that. Okay, so this sender sends the message, the clear message. The noise makes this message somehow wrong, and the receiver later let's say, sends the wrong message that Lithuania is a part of Russia and we speak Russian and we are poor communists to the others. Yeah, to other receiver, other receiver, and etc. And this is how the myths and stereotypes appear. Okay. Okay. From the scientific point of view, communication noise. Communication noise refers to influences on effective communication that influence the interpretation of conversations. While often looked over, communication noise can have a profound impact on both on our perception of interactions with others and our analysis of our own communication proficiency. Forms of communication noise include psychological noise, physical noise, physiological and semantic noise. The most important part in intercultural communication is the first one. Okay, I will point it down. So the psychological noise is the most important part, and psychological noise results from the preconceived notions we bring to conversations, such as racial stereotypes, reputation, biases, and assumptions. When we come into a conversation with ideas about what the other person is going to say and why, we can easily become blinded to the original message. Most of the time, psychological noise is impossible to free ourselves from, and we must simply strive to recognize that it exists and take those distractions into account when we converse with others. And this is important to know. Okay, so the psychological noise is kind of important. Physical noise is, oh, this one. Yeah, physical noise is more like simple issue. It refers to background music, background talk, and sometimes because of this background music, we cannot get the direct and correct message from the sender. Okay, semantic noise, physiological or semantic noise, refers to technological language. For example, if this guy would be like an IT guy, yeah, so he uses the language of 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and etc. And sometimes he like communicates with a guy who studies, for example, some Lithuanian language, let's say. Yeah, so if this IT guy, he's brilliant, let's say, and he uses a lot of technological stuff in his language, so the guy who studies Lithuanian language sometimes cannot understand him. So this is the semantic noise. Okay, so this is the end of theory. Okay, I hope you are still here. Right? And now we're going to more like practical issues of our lecture, and we will analyze some video material. Before that, I should tell you that the introduction to this video material is quite often we glorify Lithuania and we imagine that everybody knows it. And everybody knows our rich history, or at least our first religion, basketball. But the reality is that a lot of people from all over the world really doesn't know who is Lithuania and what we eat or what we drink or how we behave. And considering, this is important, considering the facts that I have told you previously about this noise issues, cultural issues, beliefs deep inside of each our culture and history, I have a small homework. Yes, it's homework, you hate it, but probably you may do it like in some lectures. So this homework is connected with this analysis, video analysis. Before we watch this video, you have to consider some issues or critical points, as I call. So the first critical point is that every joke has some truth in it. Okay, it's the first one. The second one, the most important part of this movie is not some pictures or video material, but the message that is inside of it. Okay? And the third critical point is, while analyzing this movie at your schools during your lessons, think more about not what you see, but why you see it. Okay? And try to answer to the questions, who made this movie, what was shown in it, and why it was shown. Okay? So.
This movie is based on misleading myths and nonsenses on small country with unpronounceable name. Lithuania, Lithuania. Please be advised to take your own risk on witnessing people and the country. Lithuania in foreign myths. A part of Soviet Union, not European, with capital city Riga. Lithuania was established by lesbian and gay community of America somewhere near Hawaii. Somehow first mentioned in the chronicles in the year 1009 as the pagan murder place of St. Brunon, known in America as the company of Bill Gates. All Lithuanians speak Russian, but after independence they invented their own language, which is called Lithuanian. Absolutely amazing is that Sabonis, one of the best-known Lithuanian basketball players of all times, while playing at the same time wangled to be the president of Republic. Actually, Lithuanians are proud of presidents. Piano player, communist, pilot, maybe not, naturalist and karatist. According to some novelists, we don't have electricity and widely use coal for heating, but do have nuclear power station, which is actually closed. Darkness, rain and cold is synonyms of Lithuania. Winters are so hard and wild that foreigners wonder how big population of Lithuanian penguins. All Lithuanians in wintertime live in the cities consisting of Soviet communal multi-level buildings, but during the summer they live for some shallow stalls, caves, woods, even big trees where a big wolf packs could be met. We are known as used to gather and eat everything we find, mushrooms, berries, even sand. We prefer living in tribes with 10 children in each family. All girls are blondes, with pancreas and blue eyes. They all look like fashion models because of starving. Their skin is pale and smooth because of potatoes and dressed in leaves because of clothing lack. Mostly they are all cabaret dancers. Men, according to Mel Gibson's Nightmare, hard-toothed Lithuanians armed with baseball bats are crawling across the beach into houses. We are proud of Hannibal Lecter Lithuanian origins. Everyone plays basketball, and this is a religion. We are last pagan in the Europe. Salary is paid in stones. Lithuanians are used to eat horse flesh, rabbit ears, some special dish from pig intestines stuffed with potatoes, black colored bread and drink buckets of vodka. That's why every Lithuanian a potential alcoholic and self-murderer. People are riding horses, sometimes white bears, that are widely met in cities, not only woods. Citizens of Lithuania cannot afford normal car. They drive old Škoda and Žiguli. It's forbidden to show turning signal in Lithuania. We known as country without traffic lights, even though these several have different colors. According to civilized ones, we don't know how to use toilet, TV set and mobile phone. As there is no electricity, it is still unbelievable how Lithuanians manage to have internet and email. Travel tips. Please bring candles. Only 2 hours of light during the daytime. Sugar, soap, toilet paper, books, matches, water, coke, and everything you want to eat. All local products are exposed to radiation during Chernobyl's accident. Please bring your flak jacket, because you easily can meet random shot on the street. Please find out where is your nearest embassy and have your own passport always with you, because Soviets can occupy Lithuania anytime without any reason. Don't make jokes about Lithuanian culture. Lithuanians are very proud of their culture, so to make a joke about it would be a suicide. Don't shake hands or greet someone over the threshold. Dead luck. Don't ask personal questions. It may seem intrusive. Don't smile unless you mean it. In Lithuania, smiling a lot can be seen as insincere. Don't go to Lithuania unless you want to bust all these myths.
Yes, so thank you very much for the video material, and I can repeat, okay, these critical points that during the analysis you should do. Okay, the first point is every joke has some truth in it. Okay, you just have to find this truth and see what may be the interpretation of it. And well, let's stay with this joke critical point, and that's it. Okay, so my suggestion is that during the lectures, you can lessons, you can analyze this video and see it as something quite important, some important message that somebody wanted to give to you. Okay, and now we stop about this video, and now we go to the, I think the most interesting part of the lecture is the discussion on personal experience of international students that we have. So the main questions that might be discussed today is what did you know about Lithuania before coming here? What surprised you the most? What are the bad, good experiences that you had here in Lithuania? But please feel free, tell everything you think, and there are no like restricts. It's not a dictatorship here in Lithuania. Okay, so please, let's see, Edgar's, you can start.
Yeah, before I'm coming to Lithuania, only what I was thinking know about Lithuania was about traditional food and that Lithuania is neighbors of Latvia. And for me, there was stereotype that Lithuanian and Latvian language is so similar that I will understand easy every Lithuanian. It's totally wrong experience because there was a lot of words whose meaning is really different. Example, Lithuanian word bauda. For Lithuanians is punishment. For Latvians, it's pleasure. Man skauda, it's mean like I was feel pain. For Latvian, I was jealous. And also the most favorite for every Latvian is the word ir, which mean for Lithuanian. And for Latvians, it mean is. And if you say like example guys of names of guys, example Jurgis ir Thomas, for us it will be mean Jurgis are Thomas. For me, that's is my experience about Lithuania.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, girls from Korea.
Before coming here, I know about Lithuania and it's very cold, and I think it's right to me. And what surprised the most is that when I cross the road, most of the cars stops for me, and that's very surprise for me. And 또 뭐 있었지? For you.
아, At first, in here, most people see us like monkey or alien. I can understand the animals feeling in Jew. Well, they talked me just for joking in street or in stores, and also at night the cars stop and yell us something I can't understand. But that's very scary and feel very bad. So now these days, someone talked me anything, and I became angry. Yeah, so that's a little bad experience in here. But one more interesting in here is we boys and girls and use the same dormitory. In here in Korea, we have different dormitory for girls and boys. So it was very interesting, and I think it's very good culture. And in Korea also, we should change the kinds of dormitory. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Could you pass the microphone to the Colombian guys?
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am from Colombia. Well, what did you know about Lithuania before coming here? Actually, I just knew few things. I just expect that could be a cool country, and that's true, completely true. It's a small country, of course, I knew that. And well, is what surprised me you to most. I think so. Something that is completely different from my country is probably when you take the bus. There are specific stops and there are a specific schedule. So it's completely different in Colombia because in Colombia, if the route of your bus is in front of your house, you could stop in front of your house or you could stop whatever you want. So it's up to you to decide when you are gonna leave, when you're gonna stop. So that is completely different. A good experience here, I think so. A lot of experience, good experience, because well, actually, I am so happy to be here to discover this Lithuanian culture, this country, the people. Well, probably something that well is not bad, but I miss my country in difference is because probably the people no smile so a lot of times in the day. So probably in Colombia you will see all the people, all the girls smiling. So probably something, but it doesn't matter because I am so happy here, and I well actually it's a great time that I spent here in Lithuania.
Well, good morning. I am also from Colombia. Uh, what did I know before coming to Lithuania? Is a cold country. I imagined all of the people, big men, big women, I don't know, all of them like Russian, and I had the the stereotype of of them speaking like if they were louding, shouting and once I came here, was really surprising for me when I tried to cross the streets, or because in my country, in every city, you can cross the streets wherever you want, but here you can see that only you can cross, or most of the people cross by the zebra, and only cross when the light is green. In Colombia, you can cross when it's red, when it's orange, when you want. So it's been really difficult for me in the very beginning, and now I'm happy as well as my friend, discovering new things. Everything is different. One thing different from this culture is that people is really sometimes is really shy. You ask for something to them and they don't. They are like no, and well, that's maybe really different from Colombia. You ask something and they are like, I will help you. So that was maybe surprising for us, but it's been really good.
Okay. Are you disappointed, or is it okay here in Lithuania about about all the stuff, about the culture, about the food? Did you try the food? And
Uh,
what was the
uh,
experience?
my experience here was about the chicken. Chi chicken here is really different. So when I taste it, I say, "Oh my God, I'm going to eat chicken." But when I taste it, it has different taste than Colombian chicken because I think it's here is tough, hard, and in Colombia it's like softer. So that was really different. Here you can you cannot find a food. For example, in Colombia, you say, "I want to eat meat." Yeah, they serve to you a big piece of beef. Here is just a little piece of beef and with a lot of salad. In Colombia, it's not so common to eat a lot of salad like you eat here. So it's been really different that part. All of the lunch here had salad, 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 salad. So it's different that. And of course the pizza because in Colombia you always eat pizza on weekends is but you here eat pizza every day for lunch, for breakfast, for dinner, whenever you want. And in Colombia, the pizza is just a triangle. Here you have the whole pizza. So it's when I came here and I see the round pizza, I said, "Oh wow, this is really good." Yes, that's really good thing about the food here.
Okay, but because there's another stereotype about Lithuania that we eat a lot of greasy food. All the food is made only from potatoes and only from pork, and there are some extra grease on it, like ceppeline or other stuff. So is it the stereotype you think, or is it the truth as you experienced? This greasy food made from potatoes and meat.
When I taste the cepelina, I knew that it was true because it's a lot of oil. I actually I couldn't finish my zeppelin because it was a lot of oil. But it tasted really good, but there were a lot of oil, and I am not used to eat things with a lot of oil.
And did you eat ceppeline with beer or without the beer?
With beer.
With beer. Oh, that's strange because ceppeline without the beer is is not usual. Okay, and I'd like to ask Lithuanian guys, so let's say Arnoldas, could you tell something what you think the stereotypes about Lithuania are? What are the stereotypes about Lithuania?
You know, most of the stereotypes are being shown in this video and some of them are really true because there are parts of Lithuania there is no electricity. There are parts in Lithuania where people are still burning coal, and of course, men walking with baseball bats. You can find them too if you want. And really fast in the regions, because not in the capitals, but most in the region, because there is, I could say, there is two Lithuanias, the cities, those bigger cities, and of course the suburbs, I don't know how to call it, regions, you know, there is less population than in the cities. And of course our cities are really, well, I could say, cosmopolitan. Well, you can find a lot of people in the cities that are speaking more than two languages. So, you know, maybe this shown as Lithuania are not so, well, you can't judge a country by one man. I could say this because we have now a situation in the world with Lithuanians, because some immigrants are like really, well, not so good people at all. Well, thieves, I want to say, and some really low intellectual men, I call like this, because I can hear my colleagues that are live in other parts in Europe. They'll complain that you should avoid Lithuanians because they are not so good conversation partners or even living partners, because they are bad persons, I could say like this.
Okay, but let's agree that only some minority, really, not all the immigrants are bad, yeah?
Not all. Not
okay,
all.
Thank you, Arnoldas. And we already are out of time, and probably that's it. for today. And if you have any questions, I'm just talking with, to the school children and the teachers and etc. So you can write me an email. You can ask me or you can invite me for the full scale lecture at your school. I'm totally open for any suggestions, and you can write at any time, maybe not call, but write at any time. And thank you very much for participating in this lecture, and have a good day. Okay, so let's say bye to the school children, and that's it. Bye.